Watching out for you. A Fox 5 I-Team investigation.
They go back to Africa or some pick some cottons over there.
Debt collection calls are up, and according to the FTC, so are harassing phone calls from those debt collectors.
The I-Team's Dana Fowle let you listen in on a call that a jury found so terrible, it awarded the man on the other end more than $1 million. Dana's here now with more. Dana.
Well, first, let's start by saying this. If you owe a debt, it's okay for debt agencies to try to collect it. But there are laws that say you can't threaten people. Well, in this case, the caller got ugly and extreme. Listen in.
First saved message.
These voicemails caused a Texas jury last spring to award a man more than $1.5 million from a debt collection company. That number was negotiated down, but it sent a message. In this call,
They go back to Africa or some.
In less than a minute, the F word was used 21 times.
Get your up and go pick some cotton field.
All of this over a debt of less than $200 that the Texas man said he didn't even owe. And believe it or not, the harassing voicemails get so much worse, we can't even play them for you. Who thinks they can get away with leaving that on an answering machine?
I often wonder about that.
Atlanta attorney Steve Koval is familiar with this now infamous case because he also sues abusive debt collectors. He says he's heard it all, and these days he's hearing it more and more.
I'm talking about an abusive, illegal voicemail message, and you think, what are these folks thinking?
A debt agency has a right to collect an overdue bill, but under the law, there are guidelines. No threats are allowed, and you can't lie to collect the money.
They did the garnishment for the full $871.
LaNasha Price is suing a debt collector, not over harassing calls, but she says in her lawsuit that her debt collector agreed to a payment deal that it didn't keep up. She admits years ago she had an emergency room charge that was unpaid. Time went by, she grew up and realized it was time to clear up her debt.
I decided that it's no longer good for me to have negative things on my credit, and I actually realized that that affects everything that you do.
So, she says, she contacted the debt collection agency holding her debt. She says they settled on a payment plan for the $533 she owed. $25 the first month, $25 the next, then by the third month, she'd pay up in full.
They agreed.
Everybody was on board?
Yes.
Okay. You thought that was the end of it?
Yes, I did, but I was mistaken.
Her attorney, Steve Koval, says this is where his client made a critical mistake. LaNasha gave the debt agency her checking account number. How do you pay them?
Go to the 7-Eleven and get a money order. Go to the post office and get a money order. Don't let them have access to your account information, because they're not going to hesitate to use that information to, if they can, take all the money out of your bank account.
LaNasha claims that's close to what happened. Although the debt collector put the deal in writing and she made her first payment, soon after the debt company froze her checking account through a garnishment.
I didn't know what was going on because I knew that I felt good because I started to make payment arrangements with them. So I said, okay, it couldn't be that.
She says she called to see what was happening. LaNasha says the company agreed to remove the garnishment. So LaNasha agreed to just pay up the whole $533 earlier than scheduled. They charged her credit card $533 plus another $20. Was that the end of it?
No, it wasn't.
Now the company was claiming she owed more than $871, and this time the suit says they took more money from her, another $526. But before she filed that lawsuit, LaNasha went to a judge herself to get the garnishment released, then put up a fight until she got more than $500 returned. That's when she says she decided to sue to make a point.
Now, had you not fought back, would they have walked away with more than $1,000?
Probably so. Probably so.
LaNasha says she certainly learned a lot. Number one, don't ignore your debt. Don't let it get to the debt collector stage. Now, check out our website, myfoxatlanta.com, and then go to the Seen on TV section. We're going to take you to the FTC's link, which lays out your rights if you're pursued by a debt collector.
Right. As you point out, there are laws that govern this sort of thing.
Yeah.
What are some of your rights if you owe a debt?
I mean, there's a long list. And again, I want to say, if you owe a debt, you owe a debt. But you can't be threatened with jail time. Remember, this is a civil matter, not a criminal case. If you ask the debt collector to stop calling, they're supposed to. You still owe the debt. But if they want to pursue it, they pursue it through legal action through the court system. Long list.
Wow, she saved a lot of money standing up.
Yes, and there are a whole lot of people in her position.
All right, Dana, thank you.
Thanks.